Let's make lemonade. Okay, let's go to work.
That's the signal. Go. 6. It's beautiful. Mother Nature just pissed her pants, dude.
Wake up and hit the ground running. It's The Rush, presented by Willis Auto, with Travis Justice and Ross Peterson, bringing you raw, unfiltered, and unapologetic talk about sports, life, and everything else that matters. No filtered, no fluff, just The Rush.
If you are listening to The Rush Radio Show right now, you're already making a smart decision, and those smart decisions include where you buy your car. Willis Automotive is your go-to place for quality vehicles, even better service, new ride, used ride, familiar hauler, or something fun. Find it at willisauto.com. The Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive. If you're listening on the audio stream this morning at therushradio.com, the Rush Radio Android app, or the TuneIn app, thank you so much. Watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and share your comments in the comments section. And, of course, follow us on our social media channels. Hello, Ross Peterson.
In the Willis read there, good morning to you, buddy. Hi to you. In the Willis read there, what was the word before hauler? Familiar?
Hold on.
It's going through like all the different things you'd want a car for. And it says
used ride, family hauler.
Family hauler. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever have, I was telling Eli the other day about, man, what traveling was like in the 80s. If you had a buddy that had one of those, yeah, that's true. What I'm talking about is 70s, 80s, man, those conversion vans, the caravan era, getting in a van that looked like a living room, that had shades on the window, had drapes, and the chairs would turn. The middle chairs looked like captain's chairs, and they'd turn. And you'd have a table, and 3 people could sit in the back seat across the back. You and your friends could play cards in the back of the van while you drove to Omaha or something.
So you had the 2 captain's chairs. You could have the table in the middle. Then you had the couch in the back that actually came out to a bed. And
How have we regressed so far?
I blame Dodge. They made the minivan, and that became like the trendy thing.
But listen, I'm telling you, I remember the Child's family having a minivan that fit exactly what a minivan is, that had all of those things that I just described. Traveling in that thing was like traveling in a living room. Now, I was a little kid, and so it seemed a lot more spacious, obviously, than it would as an adult. But I still remember in the 80s, we're talking late 80s here. That's not that long ago. And we have totally... Where is that vehicle today?
Well, you can still get a conversion van.
Can you?
Yes. Now, you can get a 2006... And I don't know if... I'm not looking on the Willis site. So, Jason Willis, I apologize. I just Googled.
What made me think... I wanted to talk to you about... For some reason, when you said the family hauler, I got to thinking about the different family haulers that I had. You know what I mean? The different family vacations I went on, and and for some reason that van has always been one I've been like, I wish they made those.
So right now, and I don't know if it's like the inside, but you can get a Mercedes van that looks like a Sprinter. That's $85,000. And I still think you can buy the vans that you're talking about, Ross. They're gas guzzlers. People would rather have a Suburban or an Escalade or something like that. Myself, a Defender. I had a couple of neighbors that had the conversion van, and I was always jealous, right? Because we never had, we had 4 kids in our family, but we had to go around in, a Buick Electra, which, and I remember driving to Wyoming in the 1970s. This has been about 1977. Yeah, I'm old because Ross wasn't even born yet. There was 7 people in the car. Well, the car doesn't seat 7, it seats 6. I literally laid in the back window of the car, and that was, you didn't have to be buckled up. So I was small enough because I was 7 years old. I could lay where the back window was. So you had 3 in front, 3 in the back seat, and me in the back window. that would be frowned upon today greatly. Yeah. And a conversion van at that point would have been great. Maybe we should get Jason Willis on and talk about van options that people have. Because
I kind of did. I just Googled. I literally put in new van with table in back for travel. And you're right. The Mercedes. I mean, you're looking at. Yeah, if I wanted something like that, I know first call I'd make would be to Willis.
Because now they call them camper vans, and they glamp them out, and they're incredibly priced. Like I'm looking at one right now, the 2026 Freedom, for $164,000.
Who makes the Freedom? Is that a Ford? Is that a?
It's on an Ultimate Toys website, so this might be a tricked out one. You're talking about, and the ones you're talking about are kind of the creepy single guy vans that are now use the ones to lure kids.
I just thought they were such a cool
I don't disagree with you.
The other thing I always wanted to do on a road trip, Trav, as a kid, I was always jealous when I would see campers driving down the road and they'd have the little sleeper cabin above the cab.
Oh, yeah.
I always wanted to sit up there while my dad drove across the country. I don't know why. I just always thought that's the way to travel right there. Laying in bed. Anyway, so that as soon as you said family hauler, my brain started thinking about that conversation with Eli and the kids of, man, you guys don't even know what vans used to be like.
No, that's so true. So true. Makes me want to go get a conversion. Owen's got it's not a conversion van. It seats 12. I don't want to take that any farther than 10 miles if I don't have to. But he's probably got the closest thing to it. You could trick that thing out. But he's got the bench seats in that thing.
My neighbor had in the 80s. My neighbor had this tricked out van. It was a big one though. It wasn't a minivan. It was a conversion van, right? Like one of the guys just wrote in there, Mrs. Decker wrote in and said they used to have the mural painted on the side. Yeah, this one had like a Western scene painted on the side of it. And I'm not joking that when she honked the horn, it went like, rah, rah. It did had like a different horn in it.
Hell, I think my neighbor put like a semi air horn on his. Like you could add a non-factory horn. You see the air horn sound like a semi coming down the road.
Dude, Coach just hit me right in my heart. Didn't every kid in the 80s want a B.A. Baracus van from the 80s?
Yes.
Didn't every kid in the 80s? Didn't you? G.I. Joe and the A-Team. Who did Scooby-Doo, and even though it was a cartoon.
Yeah. The Scooby Mobile.
Like Scooby-Doo. Who was, if you were in the A-Team, who were you? Because everybody's got their Ginger or Marianne. But if you're in the A-Team, who did you see yourself as?
I was George Hamilton.
Face.
He was
the good-looking guy, right?
Yeah. Right? Even though I'm not good looking, I was probably more his style. I wasn't George Papard.
Yeah. I feel like this might be one of those things. This is kind of like one of those psychological tests. How did you see yourself in the A-Team? Which one of those guys did you think you were? I have friends that are B.A. Baracus. Right?
I think you're
easy. This is a layup.
Mad Murdoch. You're Mad Murdoch.
I always saw myself as Murdoch. I think this is a psychological test. You can see what a person's how a person kind of sees themselves in the group dynamic. I think at the real estate office, we've got a group of guys that's absolutely the guys that I could go through and say this is what the A-Team looks like.
What is Mark Charter?
He's the lead guy. What was the head guy's name? The guy that ran the whole operation. Hannibal. Bensie's our B.A. Baracus. John Olson is our face. I'm Murdoch.
And I only stereotype you as Murdoch because you kind of look like him.
Trav, again, total self-diagnosis. When I watched the show, I was like, "Oh, that's me. I'm the goofball guy. That's my character." The hell was that? Did you hear that?
Help me out here. You remember when, like, and they still come to town, but when car shows came to town, did they bring like the A-Team van? Did they bring the Scooby-Doo van?
The General Lee?
The General Lee was, and the Batmobile was always a staple.
Herbie?
Oh, I forgot about Herbie.
Huh? Let's see. What else would have been in there? I don't like maybe car 54, the Ghostbusters car, the Blues Brothers car.
Knight Rider.
That was the show that was on when the tornado hit my house. We were watching Knight Rider as the scroll was coming across the bottom of the screen. Tornado warning, Polk County, Eastern Polk County, Southeastern Polk County, Pleasant Hill. Power went out.
Doing a quick search. The Mystery Machine from Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, but see, that never had the same allure.
Yeah. The A-Team. I'm just doing famous vans from TV movies. Famous vans. They're throwing the one from Dumb and Dumber in there.
The Shag and Wagon.
The Shag and Wagon.
Yeah. Mutts and Cuts.
The Reliant Regal. Only fools and horses.
I don't know what that means.
Either do I. The VW Type 2 from Lost. I never watched Lost.
I have no idea what you're talking about here.
The VW bus from Little Miss Sunshine.
Oh, see, my sister thinks we were watching Dukes of Hazzard. I swore we were watching Knight Rider. Isn't that funny how memories do that?
Yeah.
We just went past the Challenger. If you're old enough to have experienced the Challenger, you want to see how messed up memory is. This is a fun thing to do, but be careful. This is scary.
Because in 1987, it was at 86 or it was 87, right? You would have been what, 8 years old?
In school, in elementary school, and for some reason I remember it that we watched it live in school. Some of my friends have different memories. This is what's fascinating about it. We all would have experienced it the same way. And if you were in school, you have friends that experienced it with you. Call them and ask them what their memories are of the chat. Because everybody will start the same way. Oh, I remember it. I remember exactly what happened. And then you're going to find out that their memory is way different than yours. Way different.
Well, did they do this experiment with like people from 9/11? How
yes.
They went to him a year later and said, "Tell us what happened," and you had,
and then went to him 10 years, and then went to him 10 years later, and it's like they were in different parts of the town. This is how Brian Williams got in trouble for the Iraq War stuff. Remember when he was like, yep. I was in a helicopter that was shot down, and then they went back and found they're like, no, you weren't even close to it. And you can hear the story change over the years as he told it. And it's, you can go, Brian Williams is a lying piece of shit. No, Brian Williams is a human being whose brain lies to him. Like you. Like me. Oh yeah, I was watching Knight Rider. I can remember it plain as day. And then my sister, who's 6 years older than me, would have had a much better memory because I was 4. So whose memory do you trust? The 10-year-old or the 4-year-old? But I know it was Knight Rider. Isn't that weird?
It is weird. That happens to us all.
The day that I'm chasing those kids that are trying to steal my Jeep, right? And I call into 911 while I'm chasing them. The lady, I'm running behind the kid. And the lady says, "What's he wearing? Clothes?" What was he wearing? He turned a corner. It was gone. What color was his shirt? I don't even know.
Flannel.
Yeah, he was wearing clothes. That I remember. Look for a teenager in clothes near Roosevelt High School.
You know, it's interesting that you say this because I have a vivid memory when I opened my coffee shop of the day I got robbed. Like I wonder how accurate it really is in my brain because I remember the car. It was a Chevy Caprice. I remember in my mind, it was like a dark gray close to black, but I think gray. She pulled up farther and she had this big smile on her face. She was happy. And I turn around to get her coffee. And the next thing I know, I turn around and she's got a 9mm pointing at me. And I'm wondering, is that really what happened that day? Because you're making me go through that and go.
Here's what I've learned is that it's adrenaline and memory. This is why PTSD, shell shock. This is why guys that go through incredibly traumatic events, any person that goes through incredibly traumatic events, you remember like the smells and the songs that were playing in the background. Dude, we're having the Fiscus giveaway is the same thing, but using it in the happy direction. When your adrenaline spikes, your memories lock in. One of the things that at the time that I went down this rabbit hole, I remember like the latest thing was there was a new correlation with sugar dosage. That what they were trying to do for guys that were in battle, when you were in a high stress situation, a firefight, in war, the latest thing at that point a couple years ago was they thought the science was if they could give guys high doses of sugar right after the event, it somehow dampened the long-term effect of those memories. The long-term effect of that PTSD and the stuff that lingers when you have trauma.
So have a Snickers bar right after you have something traumatic.
I don't remember. And guys that have been in war will be able to. They can tell us a lot more. I mean, we're standing in the garage; they're finishing the race. So there's something about adrenaline. When your adrenaline spikes, your memories lock in. So what I would say to you, Travis, is those memories that you have are probably all legit.
I also remember going, "Don't hurt me! Don't hurt me! Don't hurt me! Don't hurt me!" Yeah, I'd like to think I was a man in the situation. Wasn't a man. I was like, "Don't hurt me! You're pointing a gun at me for a cup of coffee and $60 worth of cash that's in the register." Then when she drove off, I'm like,
"That's the right response, dude." I don't,
Yeah. And the first person I called wasn't my wife. It was. I called 911 first to say I'd been robbed, but I called my current boss. I'm trying to think if I was. I don't even think I was working for him yet. I just called. I go, Bob. I just got robbed. I just got a gun pointed at me. I don't know why I didn't call my wife right away, but it was just I just called a friend instead of calling the wife. Then I called the wife. Said, "Hey, we just got robbed. We're out $60. If she would have been smart, she would have came at 4:00 instead of 6 a.m." But yeah, that's interesting about traumatic experiences and the adrenaline locking in your memory.
Well, and again, this was about 5 to 10 years ago that I was in this kind of rabbit hole about memory and all this stuff. And I said, guys that have been in combat are going to weigh in, and they've got that take a lot more clout here. Driftless wrote in and said, "I disagree. They loaded us up with sugar in Iraq. After 17 months of combat, we were all pretty messed up. Lots of self-checkouts." Driftless, first of all, thanks a lot for your service. And second of all, good luck to you, man. I watched how when my dad started to open up and talk about things, it helped him. My dad's a totally different guy now. In a good way, in a really good way.
Yeah.
Not that he was a bad man before, but he's just a lot easier to talk to about life.
And you wonder, the sugar thing might be a good thing for like 1 or 2, but over a 17-month period of traumatic experience over and over and over again.
17 freaking months, dude.
It's a long time. Long time.
Driftless, thanks for your commitment there. My buddy Frank was weighing in earlier. He's a veteran. He was in Offutt on 9/11
when George Bush came flying in. That's another day I don't remember. I like to think I remember what I know. I was on the radio at the time, but it's like the events, and I even notice them changing every time I tell the story year after year. It's like, did I tell it the same way? Well, it sounds good, so I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to roll with it. That's what we did.
And give yourself grace, man. Your brain is like a computer. It gets rid of the useless information. It's constantly fragging the bad stuff. This is why time seems to compress, where you go, well, I had this event happen in my life, and then this event happened in my life. Why are those two memories right next to each other? Because your brain gets rid of all the nonsense. And over time, it's like, well, this detail is nonsense. We'll keep the story, but which show we were watching, whether it was Knight Rider or Dukes of Hazzard, inconsequential. We'll get rid of that information and we'll fill it in later.
You know, when you talk about Knight Rider and Dukes of Hazzard, was the car the main character of the show?
Who was the main character? You know who it was. You know who it was.
Well, it was Daisy Duke. But and you had David Hasselhoff. But you always got to the point.
Wait. Knight Rider. You're talking about David Hasselhoff.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But in Dukes of Hazzard, you always got to the point during the show, and it happened every week, where they would pause the car going to brake mid-jump, thinking, is the car going to make it over the bridge? Is it going to make it over the creek? Is it? And it was always the car.
So that's a good question. The car was certainly a character. I would say in Knight Rider, the car was the star of the show. That thing was so cool.
Was that a Trans Am?
Yeah. With a little red light that would move in the front when it was talking. I just thought it was neat that we would come pick him up. And now that's the thing that your car can actually do.
Dude,
there are actually cars that can do that.
When I was in Phoenix last week, and this is going to be old news to a lot of people, but I'd never seen it before. I'd never seen the Waymo cars. And I'm just like, there's nobody in that car. That car's driving by itself. And I never got in one because we were close enough to everything to walk. But I'm like, I almost want to go to Phoenix, take my wife and go, hey, what are we going to Phoenix for? Because we're going to ride in a Waymo. We're going to ride in a car that doesn't have a driver in it. And just by the looks of it, they drive a lot better than human beings.
We can bridge an entire generational gap here with one comment, because we were talking about Daisy Dukes, and Jay wrote in and said the star of the show was Daisy Shorts. And then we're talking about Knight Rider and that famous car Kit. And then Irish writes in, this will be the generational gap here. Kit went on to teach Topanga in Boy Meets World. So if you're not familiar with the show Knight Rider, but you remember Boy Meets World, Topanga's teacher was the guy that voiced Kit.
Oh, I never watched Boy Meets World. I was a little old for that, I believe.
Mr. Feeney. See, Ken Payne's right there. Ken and I are right in that gap where we can grab early years and grab onto the Dukes of Hazzard, Knight Rider, Different Strokes, Facts of Life, and just holding on for the Topangas of the world.
I went to the dentist yesterday, Ross.
This doesn't sound good.
Just a normal cleaning. That's what I'm going in for. I get a cleaning every 3 months because my plaque builds up faster, and so they want to do my teeth every 3 months. And yes, I do brush my teeth. But they're like, how you feeling today, Mr. Justice? I said, I feel great. Any tooth pain? No, I haven't had any tooth pain. In fact, this is the best my mouth has felt in a long, long time. They start the examination. They're like, are you sure you haven't had any pain? I'm like, no, I don't have any pain. They're like, well, you have the beginning of a little abscess back here. I have to go in next week and get a root canal on a root canal. The root canal that I had, for some reason, started leaking infection again, and I have to. So a tooth that has virtually no nerves to it, they have to go back in and redo the root canal. And now I have to go to an endodontist. They're like, yeah, we're not going to do this one. We're going to send you to a specialist. It's $330 just for me to walk in the door with insurance. And they're like, and if we end up doing the root canal that day, it'd be 20% of the entire procedure. I'm like, damn. So I got to go to an endodontist.
I hate this. I don't know what endodontist means.
All they do is like root canals. That's what they do.
But I thought that this was illegal. I think this should be illegal. Okay. You can't define a word by using the word, right? Right? You can't say, hey, what's the meaning of is, right? I typed in endodontist meaning, dictionary.com. A dentist who practices or specializes in endodontics. Ah, man, this sucks. I'm so sorry. And now I haven't had one yet.
I've had 3 root canals.
Holy
and this would be my 4th, and it'll be my first redo of a root canal. Hour-and-a-half procedure, numb me up, start digging. But it's on a tooth that has a crown, so they're like, we got to be really careful because if we break the crown, then you got to get a new crown. And that's going to be a couple $1,000.
Jeez.
Can't buy a break, man. Can't buy a break.
Life is unbelievably expensive.
Yes, it is. Hey, we want to welcome Iowa Floor Coverings to the Rush Radio Show. And if you need a new floor, Iowa Floor Covering in Bondurant has you covered with carpet, hardwood, tile, luxury vinyl, and more. Plus expert sales and installation you can trust. That's Iowa Floor Coverings. Good people, great floors. Visit iowafloorcovering.com today. Big event coming to Jack Trice Stadium. We'll discuss that when we come back. It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
This is Iowa Wolves basketball. Fast, loud, right on top of the action. Every play hits harder when you're in the building. Now it can hit even bigger. Win cash in a VIP Timberwolves trip from the Iowa Lottery. Play Cash Frenzy for your chance to win instantly. Didn't win? Enter non-winning tickets into the VIP club for a shot at courtside seats with the Iowa Wolves or a Timberwolves getaway.
Keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
With over 260 beers on tap, El Bait Shop isn't just another craft beer bar. It's the best. Beer lovers know El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd, Des Moines.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
Hi, my name is Gary Preslow. I'm a residential home mortgage banker from Northwest Bank in the Des Moines market. This is my cat Norm. I've been financing people's homes for over 25 years, and I'm an expert in financing VA loans, FHA loans, IFA loans, and new construction loans. Norm here has been watching football for 5 years, which is like 35 human years, and he's an expert in picking winners. But he doesn't know mortgage, and that's where I come in. Trust your mortgage to a local mortgage expert.
Hi, I'm Sean McFarland, Service Manager here at Mini of Des Moines. With Valentine's Day around the corner, if you're struggling to find the perfect way to show your Mini that you still care, please stop in so we can give it a look over and make sure that it's up to date on its preventative maintenance and repair. Please give us a call or schedule your appointment online at miniofdesmoines.com.
Hi, it's Noel. If you're thinking about popping the question, start with a jeweler you can trust. At Fiscus Jewelers, we offer the largest inventory in Ankeny, featuring stunning engagement rings and rare and forever natural diamonds, pre-screened with advanced technology. If you don't see exactly what you're looking for, we'll custom design it together, and our CAD drawings are always free. And when it's time to say I do, don't forget the guys. We offer the largest selection of men's wedding bands around. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
Back to the Rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Ross, do you have yard goals this season? I mean, spring's right around the corner.
Oh. Yeah, I always have yard goals. I'd like to do a lot of things with my yard. But yeah, why do you mention it, Trav?
Because if you have yard goals, now is the time to start planning, and you need to call Liberty Lawn and Landscape Solutions. Pros in lawn care, pros in landscaping and hardscapes, and they bring your outdoor space to life. From mowing and maintenance to custom design, they do it all. Visit libertylawnsolutions.com and get your yard ready for the spring. That's Liberty Lawn Solutions. They're going to be taking care of you. Can't go wrong with a good yard project. So it was announced yesterday that there's going to be another concert at Jack Trice Stadium. Coming up in July, Jelly Roll and Post Malone will be coming to Jack Trice Stadium. Those tickets are going to go on sale February 10th at 10 o'clock in the morning. This will be the second stadium show of the season at Jack Trice Stadium. Luke Combs is coming to Jack Trice Stadium in April, and then Jelly Roll and Post Malone to Jack Trice Stadium in July. And credit Jamie Pollard, because Jack Trice Stadium's for sale, folks. It's for sale. Meaning you're probably going to see a lot more of these events as Iowa State continues to look for different ways to drive revenue towards the athletic department. And sure, it's great. And I like that the stadium can be used for more than football. I mean, you have this giant event or a giant space, seats a lot of people. It needs to be used more than 7 times a year. Concerts are a great thing. You bring people in. It's a logistical nightmare in some ways. I mean, there's a lot of planning, but you have to think outside the box. Sci-Town's coming. You got to pay for that. You've got to drive revenue to fill that $20 million bucket. It makes sense to me.
Absolutely. You've got to start driving revenue. I love what you said there. Jamie Pollard has officially announced Jack Trice is for sale. Because when you say that, people, what? No. Meaning, come one, come all. You got a revenue driving opportunity that can put cash in our pockets? Sure. We'll clean up the space for you. I was there, Travis, at a concert a couple summers ago. I don't think it was last summer. I feel like this was the summer of 2024. And it was Chris Stapleton and George Strait. It was a fun show. I loved it. Logistically, they had some problems. It had been, I think, a while since they'd had an event like that. And they didn't have enough beer sales. We were up in the stands and we could see down on the field this incredible beer line that was forming. So hopefully they've got BJ just wrote that in. Worst beer lines on the planet. 45 minutes to an hour to get a beer at the George Strait concert. And we had friends that went and did that and were missed entire sections of the concert because they were trying to get a beer. So they got to figure out some logistic things. But I think this is a great idea. I mean, and if Jelly Roll and Post Malone aren't for you, then this concert isn't for you. There's a lot of people that concert's going to be for.
I mean, don't you think it's a sign of the time that you need to drive revenue?
Totally. And by the way, perfect venue for it.
Absolutely.
When this got announced, a lot of my friends were like, oh, man, I remember going to shows at Jack Trice. Can't wait to get back up there. Now, again, they've had them. They just weren't for you. If George Strait and Chris Stapleton wasn't for you, then you wouldn't have. Then you probably don't know that they had that concert. I did see, and Jolie writes this in. Williams did hint yesterday that he's heard rumblings that they've got another one being announced very soon too. So I think this is. I have no problem with it. I can't imagine that anybody would.
Now, to be fair, and I hope I'm not speaking out of turn here, and if I apologize in advance, if I am, and he'll know who I'm talking to. Iowa State's not in the concert promoting business. They have engaged Chris Conley in the Iowa Event Center and the Casey Center to help with the scheduling of.
I didn't know
concerts.
that.
Yes,
nice, very smart.
Because who does this on a regular basis? Those guys. And you go, hey, go to the experts. Now, you're right about the beer lines, but what you do is you learn, go, hey, what went right, what went wrong,
exactly.
And how do we fix this?
I'm not saying nobody should go to Jack Trice because I was there 2 years ago and the beer line sucked. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that when they did that, that was a logistic problem, and hopefully they can figure that out. And I'm sure that they've had a lot of people that have weighed in and say, hey, you got to get that part figured out if you're going to bring people back in.
What's crazy to me is, you remember when a stadium show was a big deal? And not saying this isn't a big deal. It's just amazing how many people have gotten to that stadium level, because when Paul McCartney first came to Central Iowa, it was at Jack Trice Stadium. I mean, I know he's played the Casey Center a couple times since, but that first time was Jack Trice. It was like these mega uber superstars. Now there's a lot of people playing stadium shows, which shows you there's a demand for stadium shows. I mean, hell, Taylor Swift played 3 nights in a row during her Eras tour on major stadiums.
I want to be clear. I want to be careful here that you're not underestimating the popularity of Jelly Roll and Post Malone.
No. I'm not under. It's just right. It's amazing to me how this is I mean, more people are interested in going to a stadium show than an arena show. And you go, can they sell out a stadium? Let's see. Oh, they sell out a stadium. I mean, hell, Post Malone has a couple. I know he's traveling as a country artist now, but he has a couple different genres where people could go, hey, I'm going to go watch Post Malone.
Oh, absolutely.
Not discounting them at all.
I mean, and I would say Jelly Roll has kind of transcended that too, right? He's kind of had a little bit of he obviously was a rapper for a long time, then did the country thing, but even his country music has kind of gone mainstream. I feel like I've heard Jelly Roll and Shabuzi on pop stations, on top 40 stations. Maybe I'm wrong.
Isn't all music kind of transcending now? I mean, I know people like to shove it into a certain genre or a certain niche, but to me, everybody's like, what kind of music do you listen to? I listen to good music, meaning if I like the song, I listen to it. If I don't like the song, I don't listen to it. So that goes from, you'll come into my house on Sunday mornings, we'll be listening to the Glenn Miller Band and Frank Sinatra. Why? Because, well, we like the music. Well, the girls have put on something. I'm like, oh, I kind of like this. Yeah, I'm old, is what you said.
So old. Yeah, but I have Nick over there and crank the phonograph for us so we can listen to some Glenn Miller tunes.
Can't go wrong with the Glenn Miller Orchestra. Not every day. It's just when you're in the mood for it. But music to me is just like, if I like the music, I listen to it. If I don't like it, I don't listen to it.
Tank asked a really good question because remember, I saw Jelly Roll. I've seen Jelly Roll in concert. Guy puts on a good show.
Really?
Yeah. Don't you remember me telling you about this?
My memory, I'm getting old, as you just pointed out.
All right,
Did you see the Casey Center?
No, I saw him at the Iowa State Fair.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I don't remember who he was with. But I remember at the time, he was kind of at the peak because he's lost a lot of weight. At the time, he was a big fella. Big fella.
I mean, he's still a big dude, but he's lost a lot of weight.
And man, at the Iowa State Fair, he basically came out and stood there and sang and like pointed and waved. He did this the whole time. Pointed at people and waved at him, and he sang, and it was a fun show. And
Jelly Roll's down 275 pounds.
Down 275, Travis.
Since late 2022, he's down 275 pounds. That's like 2 humans.
275 pounds is one big man.
At his peak, he was 540 pounds.
What?
So according to this, he dropped from 540 to 265 pounds.
Well, good for him. Holy cow. Wonder if doctors could quantify that. He added 10 years to his life by dropping 200 and... Wow. Kalen wrote, Ozempic. Can't tell me it's not. Maybe it is. Maybe. I mean, good for him.
Now, he's 6'1", so, I mean, he's not
big guy.
Uber tall, but he's 6'1's not short.
Geez, 6'1", 500 pounds.
540. Hell, when he went from 540 to 500, that was probably a noticeable difference.
Thinks I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Have you ever Post Malone's one? I don't think I've ever seen Post Malone. Interesting guy. He
was in a documentary, and you may have turned me on to this documentary. It was about a guitar shop out in California, and it's where people all go to buy their guitars, and he was just getting started. I mean, he was a nobody. He was just this kid who comes in and found a guitar he liked. And they're like, oh, and he later went on to become Post Malone.
That's really cool.
Like, wow.
No, I don't know what one you're talking about there. That sounds interesting to me. Have you seen any of the highlights? Bill Maher, does his little interview show ever show up in your...
Now, this is probably going to rub people the wrong way. I love watching Bill Maher.
Oh, really? Because I kind of hate him.
Well, I mean...
Smarmy prick, but that's his thing.
I get it, right?
Yeah.
But I do think he asks good questions. I don't think he doesn't... To me, he's a middle-of-the-road libertarian.
Yeah, and I agree with him a lot. I just don't necessarily like it. Have you seen any of the clips of his latest... You know who his latest guest was? You haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
I cannot wait for you to see these. He had Marshawn Lynch.
Oh, one popped up today and I didn't watch it. They're like, hey, this is the best clip from the interview.
I'm not even sure which clip they would have showed you to call it the best clip. I would tell you I've seen about 5 or 6 different clips of it. I haven't watched the whole thing yet. Marshawn Lynch is just a completely different human. Completely different human. Everything about him is just unique. He thinks about things differently. He communicates in his own style. In his own way, he communicates. It is hysterical. Because Bill Maher is having a conversation with him at one point about going to this club. He's like, I went and hung out with this mutual friend of ours. Man, things got crazy. And Marshawn's like, oh, you did it, huh? You down like that? And he's like, well, it was too much for me. We went to this one club and it was just too much. And Marshawn's like, what do you mean it was too much? And he's like, I mean, it was, the dancing and all the everything's hanging out. And he's like, oh, you didn't like them titties? But was the booty rotund? Was the booty rotund though? And Bill Maher's like, well, I mean, yeah, it was quite plentiful and it's hilarious.
Was he on there hawking his cookbook? Is that what he was on the Maher show for?
I haven't seen what he's on there doing. I've just seen that. I saw clips of it last night, started floating around, and they were fantastic. It could be a tough listen over a long period of time, but over little 2-minute stretches while I was sitting at home last night, or
because that's I find them Club Random podcast, right?
I don't even know.
Yeah.
The one where Bill Maher sits down and gets stoned with some guy.
And that's what he does. He smokes it. He drinks and smokes weed the entire podcast. I don't have a problem with that, but yeah, and they're long form interviews, which I like, which are more like conversations. And so that's the type of stuff I like, but I'm going to have to check that one out. Marshawn Lynch.
When Rev wrote in and said bootlicker Bill. Bill Maher is a
bootlicker
for who? He kind of had a reputation of being a little bit more left of center for a long time. And then I feel like he was one of the first guys that was like, hey, the left is moving. I'm kind of standing here now. All of a sudden I'm in the middle because the left has gone real far left.
But that's what happens when you don't stay in the tribe, when you don't repeat the tribe narrative.
Well,
like,
listen,
if you're not going to repeat our talking points.
Yeah. The group's going to eat itself. Used to be that thing of, there was that famous quote from, oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank now. They came for the immigrants type of thing. You know what I mean? They came for the They came for the socialists, and I was not a socialist, so I said nothing. They came for the blank, so I said nothing. Now it's like the exact opposite. It's like we scream about everything. We're mad about everything. Doesn't matter what your profession is. Doesn't matter what your gender is. We're mad about everything. And so eventually it'll turn around. It'll eat you too. That machine that you feed, if you don't stay in line, you're bootlicker Bill. Well, eventually you're going to fall out of line with the tribe. And then you're bootlicker Ray. And the rest of us that are standing around go, Ray? Ray's not a bootlicker. What the hell? He didn't fall in line with what I say. Okay. It's going to eat itself.
I'm a generally happy guy. It's because I don't spend a lot of time talking politics and religion and everything with people. It makes me generally happier. So, but Jelly Roll, Post Malone, July 17th. Again, tickets go on sale February 10th at 10 a.m.
July 17th is the show?
Yeah. I think it's that has the potential to be really hot. Now, it's a Friday night.
That's why I went, ooh. July 17th, it could be 94.
There'd be some people dropping like flies.
Could be 88 and awesome breeze and beautiful. That night that I was up there for George Strait and Chris Stapleton, it was beautiful.
And I have to go back, but they're doing a lot of college stadiums. Iowa State's not going to be alone in this, meaning you're going to see. But I think Jack Trice is, because I know there's been, and Tyler Kluver talked about it when he was on with us last week, there's been concerts at Kinnick Stadium. Is Kinnick set up as well as Jack Trice for a concert? I don't think so. From a parking standpoint, from an in and out standpoint, it just seems to me that Jack Trice is a better stadium suited for concerts than Kinnick would be.
See, I did the logistic. You're so good at looking at the logistics of stuff, because I wouldn't even thought about the parking. I mean, that the parking at Jack Trice is obviously far superior to what you've got, because you're just so close.
Yeah,
you don't have enough available spaces to get everybody close to Kinnick. You can get a lot of people, but nothing like Jack Trice. Now the getting out part, I don't know about.
But you're bringing semi after semi after semi with stage rigging, sound system. It just seems the access to Jack Trice should be a lot easier to maneuver than. It can be done, but
when we went up there, I remember we didn't park at Jack Trice. We parked in it at somebody's house that lived in the neighborhood. So yeah, the smart thing. I forget, Travis. What was the last one they had at Kinnick? Because I remember Kluve telling us that, but we kind of thought it was that wave on wave guy, but it was actual. I'm glad they're doing this. It's cool.
Here are the stadiums that Jelly Roll and Post Malone are playing. Donald Reynolds Stadium, Arkansas. Jack Trice, Sun Bowl Stadium in El Paso. McLean Stadium in Waco. That's where Baylor plays. Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge. Vaught Hemingway in Oxford. Pratt Whitney Stadium in East Hartford, Connecticut, home of the Yukon Huskies. Washington Grizzly Stadium in Missoula, Montana. And Rice-Eccles Stadium in Salt Lake. All college stadiums, all colleges looking and universities looking to drive revenue. How do we make more money? We have a concert.
Any way possible.
Yes.
You said the 17th? July 17th? Okay. All right. I am making plans.
To go?
You ever been to the Wright County Fair?
Wright County in Iowa?
Wright County is up by like Fort Dodge, Webster City.
I've never been to the Wright County Fair. No.
Neither have I. I want to get there this year.
Is there something big happening at the Wright County Fair that is?
I mean, big is a relative term. Audrey really likes. Do you remember the old 80s country band Confederate Railroad.
Oh, yeah.
They
have one hit?
No, hell no, one hit.
More than one hit?
I mean, you might look at it and say they've got one hit. Daddy Never Was the Cadillac Kind. Trashy Women.
Trashy Women.
I like my women just a little on the trashy side. That song?
She Took It Like a Man. She Never Cried.
They
Queen
also
of Memphis.
They've got some really fun songs. Like they've got Daddy Cut the Big One. It's about dad farting in church. Audrey really likes Confederate Railroad. They're going to be at the Wright County Fair this year. So
playing the main stage, I take it? Playing the only stage.
July 11th in Eagle Grove, Iowa at the Wright County Fair. So I had told Audrey the other day, I'm like, hey, we're going to, I've never been to a county fair like that, I don't think.
I can't tell you the last time I was at a county fair. I know it was the West, because Pottawatomie County has two fairs. It has East Fair and it has West Fair. West Fair is the big one because Pottawatomie County is so big that they got to have two fairs. And they have an amphitheater there. But I haven't been to a county fair at all. I've been to the state fair because we go to JR South Fork Ranch. I haven't been to a county fair in years.
So that's my plan. Make it to hit the Wright County Fair in July. And then maybe we'll Jelly Roll and Post Malone. I've seen Jelly Roll. I don't mind Post Malone at all. I have nothing, but I don't know that this one I'll go see.
Well, I was talking about Iowa State and the ability to drive revenue. The Iowa State Cyclones jump up to number 7, Ross, in the Associated Press poll. They are number 7 in the coaches poll. So after dropping last week a couple weeks ago after their losing streak, they've now put some wins together, climbing up to number 7. Checked out CBS bracketology today. Iowa State a number 1 seed in the CBS bracketology.
Okay, and I think that's I think that is the conversation or the focus that Cyclone fans should have the rest of the way out, right? You're just playing for like 1 or 2 seed, in my opinion. They're playing at that level right now.
Yes.
I'm kind of surprised they're on that one line right now because you do have. So, am I wrong, Trav? I haven't looked at the standings, I guess, in a bit. Don't we have several teams still with?
Oh yeah, there's going to be a stretch coming up that's nasty.
What am I doing? That's not what I wanted. This is what I wanted. So you still have Arizona's the only undefeated team. You have 1-loss teams: Michigan, UConn, Duke, Gonzaga. Iowa State, the top-ranked team with 2 losses, but Illinois is ranked a couple of spots ahead of them and they're 19-3. Illinois' 3 losses are to Alabama, UConn, and Nebraska earlier in the year. They avenged that loss, obviously, this weekend. Honestly, I think Iowa State's better than Illinois.
Illinois is pretty good.
Illinois is good. I think Iowa State's better.
So Iowa State has Baylor this weekend in Ames. Then it goes to TCU, gets Kansas at home, gets Houston at home, has to go to Provo to play BYU. That's not going to be an easy game.
Tough game in a tough place.
Gets Utah at Utah, gets Texas Tech at home, gets Arizona in Tucson, and then Arizona State at home.
February 21st in Provo, February 24th, you're playing at Utah. Just stay out there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Much like the Iowa men's team, they've been out in California, right? They went and played UCLA, or not UCLA. They played Oregon, and then they got Washington tomorrow night. Iowa not in the top 25, actually fell out of the coaches poll. They'd be number 26 in the coaches poll, I think 28 or 29 in the Associated Press poll. They're a tournament team. But Iowa State sitting there at number 7. Good spot for them, moving on up. And, you know, I said yesterday they're playing at an elite level. And that was one of our social media clips that I think you saw on TikTok and everywhere. You know, got some people writing in. We don't know if they're elite yet. We'll know after they play these teams. They're elite, all right? I mean, they've got elite teams coming up. Houston is an elite team. Arizona, and even if you were to lose one of those games or two, doesn't mean you're not an elite team. Elite teams lose. All you have to do is watch Iowa State, especially against Kansas State, and go, oh, that's elite.
Again, this is what the focus should be for the rest of the way out. Travis, and playing this out, in order to be a 1 seed, does Iowa State, so let's really just focus on, I don't think you can lose to Kansas at home. I don't think you want to lose to Houston at home. So let's count those. Let's take those off.
Kansas playing good basketball. They went to Texas Tech last night and looked really good. Kansas starting to do Kansas things. And now that Peterson hit 2 3-pointers last night late, that a lot of people think he's the number 1 pick in the NBA draft. And if he's healthy, which he hasn't been a good portion of the season, he's by far the best player in college basketball. Last night he proved that. But you're right. If they can get Kansas at home, that's a big win.
At BYU, at Arizona, let's just throw Kansas and Houston in there. If you lose both at BYU and at Arizona, I think being a 4-loss team, it's going to be that might be enough to push you back, or really is it going to be more about?
It'd knock you off a 1 line. I still think there's a good possibility they could be on the 2 line.
Is the committee going to do that thing where they go, well, Arizona's the Big 12 1 seed? So
I mean, Arizona will be, if they keep playing like that, they'll be the number 1 overall seed. Right. They'll be the number 1 overall.
So in order for Iowa State to secure a one spot, then do they have to upend that?
Probably afford to lose 1 more.
1 more.
Yeah.
Maybe that at Arizona
maybe
game.
2. Yeah, maybe 2. Depends on. I mean, you can't lose to Baylor.
Okay. Well, yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, you got to
can't lose to Arizona State.
So of those 4, you're saying any 2 of those 4, home to Kansas, home to Houston, at BYU, at Arizona.
Yeah.
At Arizona. You got to go 2 and 2 on those at least.
Gosh, and it depends what everybody else does the rest of the season.
I feel like this year, Trav, maybe there won't be that big of a difference between being a 1 and a 2.
Oh, I don't think there's going to be. You look at the 2 lines now that they have on there, and you're like, oh, you can make a case for any one of these teams. All I know is this. We've spent many years trying to figure out if teams were even going to make the tournament. Yeah. It's nice to know that you're securely in the tournament. Now you're like, well, how good are we really going to be? That's more enjoyable conversation to have than anything else. I don't know if you saw the first advertisement break. We hope you did, because we want you to support our sponsors. But we saw Norm pick Seattle to win the Super Bowl. You saw it. Norm went right to the Seahawks and said, bang, right there. Norm the Cat knows exactly what's going to happen in the Super Bowl. And Norm gets to hang out with Gary Presnell all the time because he's known football for a long time. And Gary knows mortgages. He has for the past 26 years. He offers VA, FHA, and IFA first-time buyer loans, conventional and new construction loans, with all approvals done locally by Northwest Bank. Gary can get you approved in 30 minutes or less. Ross sees it on a regular basis. He works with him. And he can do it after hours and on weekends. He's been the state's top producing mortgage banker the past 8 years. So when you want a trusted mortgage professional with years of experience to handle the largest purchase you're probably ever going to make, trust Gary Presnell at Northwest Bank. Call him at 515-975-6767. It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
This is Iowa Wolves basketball. Fast, loud, right on top of the action. Every play hits harder when you're in the building. Now it can hit even bigger. Win cash in a VIP Timberwolves trip from the Iowa Lottery. Play Cash Frenzy for your chance to win instantly. Didn't win? Enter non-winning tickets into the VIP club for a shot at courtside seats with the Iowa Wolves or a Timberwolves getaway.
more Iowa in the Iowa Tap Room than you may realize. Housed in a building nearly as old as Iowa itself, the Iowa Tap Room greets you with a harvest of 120 Iowa craft beers on tap from all corners of the state. And the food doesn't get much more Iowa than this. The Iowa Tap Room, all Iowa beer, one amazing place.
There's always something new at Fong's Pizza and an ever-changing menu of tiki drinks. Or try our new noodle dishes alongside your favorite slice. It's all happening at the new Fong's in the East Village.
Thinking about buying a home? Get pre-approved in 30 minutes with Gary Presnell at Northwest Bank in Des Moines. Gary offers first-time home buyers programs, VA, FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Start spreading the news, cause it's time to buy booze, and there's only one place to be. You can see all your friends, the good times never end, unless you're just loitering. It's Central City, we can make your dreams come true. No guarantee your dreams will come true. Central City, all this booze is waiting for you. Look at all this booze.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
I'm Steve Olinger, Service Director here at Willis Nissan. February is here, Valentine's Day is right around the corner. Love is in the air. It's time to give your car some love. Take advantage now until April 30th. Buy 3 tires and get the 4th for $1. Go online today at willisnissan.com or give us a call to schedule your tire installation.
Game on, keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
Like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Willis Automotive powers the Rush Radio Show, and if you're in the market for a vehicle, this is where you start. New, used, or certified pre-owned, Willis Automotive has the selection, the people, and the service to make it so easy. No pressure, no games, just a team that knows how to take care of you. Check them out at willisauto.com. That's willisauto.com, and experience the difference. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushladio.com, the Rush Radio Android app, or the TuneIn app, thank you so much. Watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like. And, of course, leave your comments in the comment section. And you can always follow us on our social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X. Speaking of X, Ross Peterson, Adam Schefter, 8 minutes ago, tweeted this out, or X'd it out. I'm going to still say tweet.
Yeah, don't blame me. You're right.
Patriots owner Robert Kraft, like his former head coach Bill Belichick, was not selected for entry into this year's Pro Football Hall of Fame. That's sources telling ESPN. The class is going to be revealed on Thursday. So Bill Belichick not going to make it. Robert Kraft not going to make it. You're talking about
welcome to the ridiculousness. NFL Pro Football Hall of Fame. Welcome. Major League Baseball is glad to have you. Glad to have you, because they've been the laughing stock of Hall of Fames for a long time. By a long ways. They were the only one on that side of the aisle. They are glad to have you swimming in the same pool. And then the pettiness that we'll get from people that are like, well, I mean, they cheated. I mean, they were the best cheaters. They were the best cheaters.
I don't know how you put people in the Hall of Fame. You know, I wish I had a solution. I don't want it to be fan votes because then it becomes a popularity contest, which is nothing wrong because you have to be popular. That's the definition of fame.
Yeah.
But you might get some people like, well, he was famous, but were they Hall of Fame numbers? But then you have what takes place now with the baseball writers and the football writers. In some cases, you're like, is that the best way when these people consider themselves the guardians of what is sacred as the halls of Canton, Ohio, right? I mean, I don't know what the best way to put somebody in the Hall of Fame is.
I think, Travis, it's kind of like art. The best way, and I know it's going to sound really cheesy, but hear me out.
Okay.
The best way is to look within. I mean this. Every person should think about it for a second. What should a Hall of Fame be? What should it mean? What should it represent? What is a Hall of Fame? What is it? Is it the guys that helped make the game popular? Is it the most famous people that helped progress the game, that helped move it forward in some way? They contributed something definable to the sport. I think that these are all, that's kind of what I think about. I'm kind of answering my own question there. But again, everybody can have their own thing. For some people, it's a stat-driven thing. For some people, they go, you got to have these qualifications. But the one we got to be really careful about is you got to be a good person. Because that's a huge sliding scale. That's even more objective than did you contribute to the game. That's even more objective than were you great. Were you a good person? Well, shit, we better start eliminating a lot of people. In fact, all the people. Kurt Warner and Larry Fitzgerald, congratulations. You're the only two guys in the NFL Hall of Fame because you're the only two good dudes we've ever had. And that's a stretch. Barry Sanders gets in as well. Sorry. But what do we... The New York Giants owner is on the Epstein list.
Yeah. And now the NFL is going to look into said emails that he was sending.
The guy who's running the Olympics is on the Epstein list. He was emailing Ghislaine Maxwell about fantasizing in her in all leather, and then had the audacity to defend it by saying, "I was on a humanitarian trip with the Clinton Foundation."
You just made the case worse.
That's one hell of a humanitarian trip when you come back dreaming about your chaperone in leather.
Yeah, what kind of humanitarian trip was that?
You humanitarian the shit out of that. Way to go. If your bar is they got to be a good person. Robert Kraft got rub and tugs, right?
He did.
That's gross. That's gross. And it contributes to human trafficking. That's nasty. So again, what do you think what is the Hall of Fame? Is it a hall of morals? If you think it's a hall of morals and a hall of good guys, then I can see you saying, I don't want Robert Kraft to be in.
I don't view it as a hall of morals. I don't.
I think were you a huge part of the game for a long period of time? That's a weird scale, and everybody's going to have their own thing. But that's to me what the Hall of Fame has always been. The Hall of Famous. What's famous mean? We better decide. But I would think that Robert Kraft, Bill Belichick, these guys that dominated and reshaped the game for a decade, we've said it over and over. That's no-brainers, right? No, not when it comes to the gatekeepers.
I could see a way where you could have the gatekeepers who think they know more and then say, hey, after you guys select, we're going to take people who aren't on that, who didn't make it, and have a fan vote. Meaning the fans get to pick one person a year to override said gatekeepers. Meaning you probably get Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame. Meaning you're probably going to get Barry Bonds in the Hall of Fame. You're probably going to get Mark McGwire in the Hall of Fame. Now, it may take a little bit longer, but they deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. So if you say, here's who the writers selected, and you can even say, hey, on the plaque, this was a fan selection for the Hall of Fame because, well, fans who care about the game, watch the game, do that. You can correct, because in baseball is so weird. You can only be on the ballot so many years. If you only get such a percentage of votes, it's It's stupid.
The people that take joy, they hate Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick so much because they won and because they cheated to win. And they got caught cheating. Are these guys Hall of Famers? Is a different question than do you like them? It's a different question than did you cheer for them? Do you want them to keep winning? Did you like their team? It seems so ridiculous. But again, baseball's glad to have you. Football.
515-517-2303. Is this Tyler?
It sure is.
Well, you have the video link. You could have just hopped on and done it that way. You didn't have to. I know. You didn't have to call.
No, I know. I'm feeding baby boy right now on the couch, just watching you guys. But alternative perspective. Robert Kraft, top of the Hall of Fame, deserves the top spot because, let's be honest, boys and girls, rub and tugs and an incredible franchise. I mean, let's think about it. That is hard to manage, right? That is hard to manage. There's a lot going on there. Deflategate, some would say, very, very impressive feat. All I'm saying. Something to think about on a Tuesday.
Maybe that's what they're waiting for. Maybe the committee looked at it and said, this isn't first ballot, isn't even big enough honor. We need to make him king of the Hall of Fame.
They're creating a new shelf, actually, in Canton for him. Him and Deshaun Watson.
Him and Deshaun Watson.
Oh, and the kicker. What was the Kyle Tucker? No, I understand. Who was the kicker? Justin Tucker.
Justin Tucker. From Baltimore?
Yeah. Justin Rubin Tucker.
And by the
I did that.
Justin Rubber. No, yeah, I was just watching. I thought, I'm bored. I should call in. How you guys doing?
Well, you came up because you mentioned a concert you went to at Kinnick Stadium a couple years ago. It was like the last concert you've been to, and we got Jelly Roll and Post Malone coming to Jack Trice Stadium, and we were just wondering what that concert was you went to at Kinnick Stadium.
Which, by the way, that Jelly Roll and Post Malone in Jack Trice is insane. That's such a good get. That concert was, I don't know. Look, if you search it, just concert in Kinnick, it was Blake Shelton, Thomas Rhett, and there was one more person a part of it. It was it wasn't just a couple years ago. It was like 2015. I think it was before our undefeated season, like right before that year kicked off.
Is that the last concert at Kinnick Stadium?
Yeah. They haven't done one since. And I don't know if they ever did. I don't know. I'm not up on the music history. I don't know if they ever did one before that. Might be the only one they've ever had there.
I wouldn't be surprised if they start going the route of many other universities of having concerts at their stadiums because it drives revenue. And if you can make $1 million off it, you can put it towards that NIL line. That's what Iowa State's doing.
Why wouldn't you?
I Googled this thing.
Sit empty.
Sorry. I Googled this thing, and guys, this was a great thing. This was a great marketing thing. They had a really good thing here. They should have stuck with it. Maybe this is an annual deal. Just doesn't. 2016 is what you're talking about. It was the Back Porch Revival concert. That was a concert with a cause. So it was Blake Shelton, Thomas Rhett, Big and Rich, and several other artists. Then it was a fundraiser for the Native Fund, a charitable organization started by, it says Clark. Is that Caitlin Clark?
No, she would have been in high school
in 2016. Dallas Clark. Oh my gosh, this is Dallas. This is your boy. Dallas Clark felt helpless watching the Iowa flood in 2008, and he started this to raise money for the Iowa City Cedar Rapids area. So there you go, Klug. Cool. You supported the cause. Didn't even know it. All for the kids. Way to go.
When they were planning that concert, so Dallas, Blake Shelton, and Ashton Kutcher were part of it. Kutcher and what's his girlfriend's name? His wife's name?
Mila Kunis.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Mila Kunis. Yep. So they made a couple trips to Iowa City to come and meet and go over details about everything that they were doing. And one random day after, it was like 10 a.m. on like a random day during the week, cold as shit outside. and a bunch of us were leaving a Lyft group. And as we leave, we're going out to our cars, and we see this guy walking into the complex by himself. And a couple of us are like, is that Ashton Kutcher? What the hell is going on? So, like, he kind of was away from us. We're down the parking lot. Someone goes, Ashton. Sure enough, he turns, gives a little wave. We were all like, it was like, I don't know, it was like we were Swifties. We all ran over to him, started talking to him, took pictures.
Was his wife with him? Because I would have been like, Mia.
Now hold on, fake Bob Vanderplots brings up a great point. At that time, would his wife have been Demi Moore? Because remember, he was married.
I think
she was around by that point. Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was Mila, if I remember correctly. But yeah, that was I think the first conversation after he walked into the building and we left was like, damn, would have been cool if Mila was here. Actually, that would have been better. That's similar to the story when I went to a bachelor party in Vegas 2 years ago, and I was with Josie Jewell, and we were walking through one of the casinos, and Russell Wilson runs out of one of the stores and goes, Josie, what's up? Because they played together in Denver. Russell tracked Josie down, and then I found myself in a 15-minute conversation with Josie, me, Drake Kulik, and Russell Wilson and Sierra. That was fun.
That was funny, says.
The life and times of Tyler Kluver.
That's great clue.
By the way, Kunis and Kutcher started dating in early 2012, according to the Google machine.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
All right, buddy. We'll see you on Friday.
Yeah. Absolutely. Can't wait.
All right. Talk to you soon. Tyler Kluver joining us on the phone line. I'm feeding the baby. I'm just going to pick up the phone.
I was feeding the baby and bored. Called you. Thanks, Kluve. Love it, man. That's just hanging out with Sierra and her husband. What was his name? Russell.
Was it Russell Wilson?
Russell Wilson is what he said. Russell Wilson comes out of the store and he's got his wife Sierra sitting with him.
Yeah. Who's more popular, Sierra or Russell Wilson?
Worldwide?
Sierra.
Worldwide, it's Sierra. Yeah. But I would imagine on the Vegas Strip at certain times, or Did you see the story about the Seattle Seahawks being for sale?
No.
You haven't seen this? It's a pretty wild story.
It's because they lost so much money with their jerseys getting stolen outside the
the
stadium.
The pro image boost busted them. They couldn't survive the $50,000 hit.
$50,000 worth of jerseys. That's going to put us in the red.
Listen, Courtney and I were having a conversation the other day, and I think something doesn't add up to me with that. $50,000 worth of jerseys. Like, even if they're $500 jerseys a piece, it said there were 3 guys. How many jerseys this is what the conversation is. How many jerseys do you think you could grab and run with? How many do you think you could hold and run?
20, 30 maybe?
This is what I'm thinking. So even if they were $500 jerseys a piece, these 3 guys would have each had to carry, or women, I'm not trying to be sexist here, they'd have had to each grab 33 jerseys, and one of them would have had to grab a 34th. And I think that seems like a lot. Anyway,
I'm just impressed that the place has that many jerseys stocked.
And the picture that they have in the thing, it looks like there's like 15 jerseys missing. There's not hundreds. So I don't know how they got that many, but that it's not why the Seattle Seahawks are up for sale. In fact, the reason why the Seattle Seahawks are rumored to be up for sale, we're going to circle back to this.
Because this is a trust thing, right? The original owner.
It.
Yeah.
Nailing it, Trav. The original owner passed away, Paul Allen, and it's very complicated. He basically gave the franchise to his sister, but he didn't just give it to her and now she's the owner and takes all of his shares. It was put into a trust and she is the executor of that estate. She is the trustee. The NFL has this rule, and I didn't know this rule either. In fact, I'm kind of curious how the Packers, because I always thought the Packers was a deal where it was owned by, all the stockholder things. But the NFL has a rule where every franchise has to have one singular majority owner. That person has to own at least 30% of the franchise. Well, this is not that case. This is an estate that owns the Seahawks, and it's Paul Allen's sister that is the executor of the estate. Now, the NFL granted them an exemption and said, we're going to give you some time to figure this out. Obviously, nobody wanted Paul Allen to die. You guys figure this thing out, but do it quickly. Well, he died in 2018. So the rumor that started to come out was, hey, Seahawks have to be for sale because she's not the primary owner. They're going to have to move some things around, or they got to sell the team. The Paul Allen estate came out and said, we don't know where this has come from. This team is not for sale. Conspiracy theory time. That ESPN has launched this story as a distraction to help the New England Patriots in the upcoming Super Bowl.
Wow. How would it help the Patriots?
Just serve as a distraction within the locker room of the Seattle Seahawks to be like, we're making the Super Bowl and we're going to be sold?
Interesting.
But I can read. Go ahead.
I thought because now that you said this, I do remember the story. I thought like all her siblings wanted to sell the team. Like they were on board because you're sitting there going like, hey, do we want to run a football team or just split $2 billion or $3 billion or $10 billion and let's call it a good life? Not that they don't have a good life anyway, because they were children of Paul Allen.
So this is Brock. I'm again. I know I hate him. Sometimes I hate mentioning sources that I'm reading stuff from because a lot of people will instantly hear the source and go, "Oh, this is stupid." I told you this is a conspiracy theory. Okay, it is from Awful Announcing. Brock Huard decided the only way ESPN could have learned that the Seattle Seahawks would go up for sale after the Super Bowl was if the New England Patriots and Robert Kraft leaked it to the media as a distraction tactic. On Friday, Seth Wickersham and Brady Henderson reported that the Seahawks would go up for sale after Super Bowl 60. The timing, 9 days before Seattle faces New England for the championship, immediately sparked speculation. Radio host in Seattle, played quarterback for the Seahawks from 99 to 01 and in 04. Brock Huard said, well. The NFL team that goes to any length to play games on and off the field, Robert Kraft, not in the Hall of Fame. No question in my mind that Kraft's friends let media know that the Hawks would be up for sale, a tactic employed the Patriots would use to try to create distraction. Anyone surprised? It is interesting to see how the Paul Allen estate did immediately push back when they saw that statement and said the team's not for sale. They acknowledged that that will change at some point per Paul's wishes. That's not a denial. In fact, it confirms the substance of ESPN's report, even if the exact timing remains unclear. There you go.
Want to buy the Seahawks? Justin, you want to buy the Seahawks? Of course you do.
What's it going to cost? What's the price of the Seahawks? Did you see it?
Probably $9 to $10 billion, I'd bet.
I think I I thought I saw it was like $7 billion. Let me see if I.
Yeah, the price of a franchise isn't going down.
It's between $7 and $10 billion. Is the projected value. Paul Allen purchased the team.
Now, he's a former Microsoft guy. He helped co-found Microsoft with Gates.
He's going to sell this team. Let's say it's $7 billion.
What did he buy it for?
1997.
In 1997, he bought the team for $328 million.
194.
Oh.
He bought the team. He bought the team for $100. He bought the team for $194 million. And 25 years later, 27, 28, 29, let's call it 30 years. 30 years. It's worth $10 billion. Or 7. I mean, and really, what a loss. $7 billion?
Even if you lost money all those years, say you lost a couple $100 million a year, you're still coming out on top. Wow.
That's a good point. You could lose a couple $100 million a year for 30 years. And if you sold the place for $10 billion,
couple things we want to get to, and that is, we had Bruno on yesterday during Groundhog's Day. It turned out perfect, right? Don't forget, the next big event coming up at El Bait Shop is the Barreled Age Brunch. Ross is going to be there. There are tickets available for the second session. And if you want to eat good food, drink really good beer, the Barreled Age Brunch is where you're going to want to be. And they have tickets available for the second session, so get them while they last, because this thing's going to sell out.
You will drink beers there that you will never be able to drink again in your life. I don't say that. That's the real deal. Every year I've been there, I've had a beer that is completely unique to that one day in my life. Great food, awesome atmosphere, and fantastic beers.
Also, in my hand, Ross Peterson, I am holding a bunch of love songs. We're not going to read them today. I'm going to hold on to them. But if you want to win a pair of diamond earrings from Fiscus Jewelers, because Noel Fiscus has the best jewelry in Central Iowa, it's not even close. And he's given us a pair of diamond earrings, total carat weight. Go to therushradio.com, click on the promo tab, click Love Songs and Bling. Give us the song that sparks a memory in your brain about your loved one or an ex or somebody that you're close to, and tell us why. There was an interesting song yesterday.
I almost wonder if you should start reading some of them to us that we don't, so it's not, don't spend hours doing it. But you know better than me, and you're going through them. I would say real quickly about Noel, absolutely the best place to go if you're looking for something for your loved one for Valentine's Day. Locally owned and operated. You're not going to get a sales tactic. You're going to get a guy that wants a customer for life. He's going to do everything he can to make sure that you and your loved one are happy and satisfied, not just the day you walk out and hand that gift off, but for the lifetime that you own that thing. I promise you, I've been through it on all sides of this with the Fiscus team. They are fantastic to work with, and your money stays here in Central Iowa. You're not shipping it off to some giant corporation that doesn't give a crap about you. They'll take care of you.
It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Game on, keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
This is Iowa Wolves basketball. Fast, loud, right on top of the action. Every play hits harder when you're in the building. Now it can hit even bigger. Win cash in a VIP Timberwolves trip from the Iowa Lottery. Play Cash Frenzy for your chance to win instantly. Didn't win? Enter non-winning tickets into the VIP club for a shot at courtside seats with the Iowa Wolves or a Timberwolves getaway.
Okay. And you said it makes that noise every time you accelerate? Got it. Right. And does it happen only when it's cold out, or does it also happen after you've warmed up for a little bit? And how does that make you feel? Is your car feeling a little down this February? Come on down to Willis Volvo Cars and we'll get her feeling good. To schedule an appointment, give us a call or go online to willisvolvocars.com.
Hey, Tanner with Liberty Lawn and Landscape here. It may be chilly now, but before you know it, spring will be here. We are now booking for spring, so get a hold of us to schedule your next project today. Serving the Des Moines Metro, we specialize in a variety of services such as retaining walls, paver patios, edging and rocking, and much more. now offering 3D renderings to show you exactly how your project will look before beginning. Liberty is proudly veteran-owned and ready to serve you today.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
Hi, it's Noel. At Fiscus Jewelers, we're honored by the fact that our customers continue to come back on purpose, and that trust means everything to us. For years, we've been privileged to be a part of life's most meaningful moments, and we never take that responsibility lightly. We proudly offer the largest inventory in Ankeny, cutting-edge custom designs, including free CAD drawings, and a team that takes the time to get it right. Thank you for choosing us year after year. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
The largest selection of German beer in the world? You'll find it at the Hessen House. From Doppelbocks to Oktoberfest to Hefeweizens and Dunkels, there's no passport needed for the deliciously different beer and food at the Hessen House. So grab your friends and make it a fun night out. The Hessen House, 4th and Court, Des Moines.
Hi, I'm Tom, owner of Central City Liquors. Our customers love us because we offer a large selection at an affordable price. And to keep costs low for you, we don't splurge on fancy promotions and expensive equipment. This commercial is being shot on a phone taped to a stick. Anyway, we are proud to announce our new rewards program that allows customers to save more the more they buy. Whoop! So don't spend more to pay for fancy commercials. Save at Central City, where we know what's important. I told you we should have used duct tape.
Zach here, your favorite Willis Infinity Service Advisor. Get your car the Valentine's Day gift it deserves. Buy 3 tires and get the 4th one free, plus take $25 off a new battery. When you come in for service, we will include a free alignment check. Schedule online at willisinfinity.com.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
We were talking about the Jelly Roll Post Malone concert earlier. We want you to play it cool or play it hot. A concert experience from the Iowa Lottery. With the Fire 7s and I-7 scratch tickets, you can enter non-winning tickets into your Iowa Lottery VIP club account for a chance to win 2 sweet tickets at a concert of your choice. Journey's going to be playing at Casey Center in Des Moines. Luke Combs is going to be at Jack Trice Stadium. And now Jelly Roll is going to be at Jack Trice Stadium. Concerts are happening in April. And, of course, the Jelly Roll one in July. Iowa Lottery had your VIP experience for it all. Entries open until 9:59 a.m. on March 16th. Go to iowalottery.com/VIP. Also, of course, on Friday, we do the Iowa Lottery Weekly Woohoo, Ross. And yesterday, we got a woohoo online. We're making it easier for you to do the Iowa Lottery Weekly Woohoo. Just go to the Iowa Lottery or the rushradio.com, click on the promo tab. You'll see the weekly woohoo. Tell us what made you go woohoo this week. We'll still take your phone calls, but we're taking them online as well. Your chance for a $90 prize pack from the Iowa Lottery. You're in a good mood. You were singing. Your mic was accidentally open a week ago.
I didn't know that. That's so funny.
The Central City Liquors.
Yeah, I don't. Every time the Central City Liquors commercials plays, that's all I hear is start spreading the news. Even my kids sing it.
It's time to buy booze.
So
it's catchy.
Yeah.
It's very, very catchy. Drake's going to be on the road tonight. They're going to be at Belmont. Belmont, the top team in the Missouri Valley Conference. They're 10-2 in the league. Bulldogs sitting there at 6-6. This game opened as an 11-point spread. It's dropped down to 9.5. But I don't give the Bulldogs much of it.
It'll be a tough one.
Yeah.
And hope to see your hope tonight as a Bulldog fan should be to see Drake having made improvements, fight, make this a game. I honestly, Travis, what did you say it was? 8 points?
9.5.
9.5.
Yeah.
You know, that's if they beat the spread tonight, moral victory. Like you got to come away with that and go, hey, we're playing on the road with the best team in the conference, and we're right there on their heels. And that means when we get to a neutral site down in St. Louis, we can play with these guys and we can play with anybody. And that's what's really going to matter for this entire league. unfortunately. So, if you're a Drake fan tonight, you get a win. That's obviously enormous. Play with this team has to be the hope for tonight. Keep it a game, right, Trav? Keep it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
It's crazy how, I'm such a traditionalist when it comes to the Valley because I love the Missouri Valley Conference. Always have. But, you look at some of your top teams, Murray State, Belmont. If Belmont's like the lone representative of the Missouri Valley Conference, it's stepping outside the norm for me, right? I'm like, I need Bradley, I need Illinois State, I need Drake, I need UNI. Those traditional teams, like, well, Belmont's representing the Missouri Valley Conference. That's the world we live in. It's just taken me a little bit to get used to it.
A couple years ago, Houston was the Big 12 champion.
Yeah. Very, very good point. The McDonald's All-American teams were announced yesterday because she's been on this show. Fun interview back on Thanksgiving. McKenna Velichko, who's going to be at Iowa next year, is a McDonald's All-American. She'll be playing in that game in Glendale, Arizona on March 31st. That's right before the Final Four. So McDonald's All-American. And I still think that's a big deal, right? Because that's where you still get the best players together to actually come play. It's not you're an All-American on paper. You're an All-American who's going to play a game against the best, and that's on the men's side and the women's side. So I still think it's a big deal to be a McDonald's All-American.
And good on McDonald's for keeping for staying.
No kidding.
That really does mean something. That's a good point, Trav. And you can go back, and being a McDonald's All-American usually is an indication of really good success at one of the next levels, if not the next levels.
I know people are going to think I don't know, and I doubt you do either. But does Playboy still do its All-American team for college? I don't know if Playboy still does an All-American team.
Honestly, I'm not. I didn't. Playboy did an All-American.
Oh yeah, college football team. Yeah, college football team. You were a Playboy All-American.
Really?
Yeah, I believe you got to go. I believe you got to go to Hefner's house if you were a Playboy All-American.
I was just going to ask what kind of goodie bag came with that. Seriously? He would invite. Wait a minute. If you were one of the top college football players in the country, at one point in time, you got invited to the Playboy Mansion?
Yeah, so the Playboy All-American team was a prestigious annual preseason honor for college football and basketball players. Famously featuring photo shoots for the magazine's issue from the 1970s to the 1990s.
What?
And
they did a photo shoot? Like a co-ed photo shoot? So like Kelvin Sampson's laying a ball in, and there's a lady underneath the hoop, or what? What does?
Not only were they some of the best athletes in the nation, they got to travel to the Playboy Mansion for a photo shoot.
This was not an impermissible benefit in the 70s and 80s and 90s.
Well, they're named to it. This is how you get around the rules. We're an All-American. Therefore, we want to do a photo shoot with said All-American team. We're just going to happen to bring them to the Playboy Mansion.
We are the members of the All-American team. We come from cities. I'm sure they did a little number at the end of it.
We got to find somebody who.
All right. Hold on. Look at Rob. He says Matt Roth from Iowa made the Playboy All-American team and said he was shocked. Thought his mom and sister would have been in Playboy before him. Rob, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's funny. That's funny. I like that. Right. I like that a lot.
Even impermissible benefits. Remember Bob Hope used to announce his All-American team. Remember they'd run out and go.
Yeah. Did you see this? Johnston girls basketball is listed. They said, "Hey, if you're going to mention the California girl making
I didn't see your name on there. I actually looked at it this morning. I went over. I didn't. I went through the team this morning. I thought she was on it, and I didn't see it. So that's my oversight. So I'll apologize for that.
And Johnston girls basketball. Just so you know, we did have you guys on our top stories of 2025.
Right. Yeah.
Congratulations!
I apologize for that.
And didn't we have a listener tell us yesterday, Trav, that because of us mentioning the success that Johnston has had lately, they were headed over to the Johnston Dowling game, right? We had a listener tell us that the other night. So thank you. Give me 1 second here, Trav. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I apologize for leaving her off. That was my oversight. I went through the teams this morning and for some reason didn't. Just glanced over her name. She must be on the East squad, and I went to the West squad. So hard to keep everybody happy. All right. Can you help me with this one? And I will take your advice on it. I promise.
Will you really? Will you really take my advice?
I don't know what to do about this one.
Okay.
Audrey's too young to be like wearing makeup.
Yes.
Yes. She just came up. She's got like this. She puts like this little glitter stuff on her cheeks, right? And normally, if she just does a little tiny bit, I don't mind. Today, it's a little bit heavy. So that's what I was just telling her is, hey, you got to watch that off. What do I do here? I don't want to just take it away from her and be like, oh, you can't use that because she's a little girl and she likes to
take that shit off your face now or you're not going to school. That's what it would be in my house.
What if I don't have that club in my bag? I don't have that shot.
Well, then
can you get more creative for me?
Okay, honey, come into the bathroom with me and have a washcloth and you do it for her.
Okay. All right.
And say, this isn't, you get to wear makeup for when you're dancing, but you don't need, because she's second grade?
Fourth. But you're nailing the dance thing. What happened was last night she was FaceTiming with her friends from dance, and I came downstairs. I was like, "Whoa, you're like dance makeup." She's like, "Yeah, we were playing on, doing that." So anyway,
yeah, fourth graders. This is a parental thing. Don't need to be wearing.
No,
that's my opinion. I don't think my daughters went to an all-girls school. They never wore makeup, period, because they didn't go to school to impress boys. So, I mean, it was just one of those things where they went to school every day with zero makeup on. But, all you have to do is say, hey, we're just going to wipe this off.
Okay. All right.
You're not going to school to impress anybody. You're going to school to do some learning. Yeah.
I think this is the best thing we need to do. David says Ross needs Uncle Travis to come over and have a talk. See, good cop, bad cop, good cop, bad cop.
Yeah. Oh, I'll be the bad cop. I have no problem being the bad cop.
Yeah, nobody was questioning who was the bad cop.
So we have another lawsuit brewing in the NCAA. Joey Aguilar, the quarterback for Tennessee, has sued the NCAA looking for one more year of eligibility. When the 2026 season starts, Ross, Aguilar will be 25 years old. He started his college journey in 2019 at a junior college in San Francisco. He redshirted. Because of COVID, they did not play the 2020 season. He played JUCO in 2021. And I believe 2022, made his FBS debut in 2023. He now wants the NCAA to void his junior college contributions and grant him one more year of eligibility, which could mean, and this is in the lawsuit, $2 million worth of NIL money. Now, there's precedent here. They let Diego Pavia play. And when you set precedent, you set precedent. I mean, do you think Joey Aguilar is still going to class at age 25? He should have his doctorate by now.
A lot of people go to college for 10 years. Yeah, they're called doctors. 2019. 2019, Travis. That's 7 years ago. He started JUCO, and he was a red shirt JUCO guy. Man, do I have a problem?
I have a more problem with the age than I do the eligibility. You're a man at 25, right? And there's a difference between a 25-year-old playing and an 18-year-old playing. There's a difference between a 25-year-old and playing and a 22-year-old playing. If there wasn't $2 million at stake, you wouldn't even want to be there because you're like, I'm probably not going to play in the National Football League. This is going to be my last chance to make any money whatsoever of this magnitude. And you've gone down this rabbit hole several times, and it's easy to believe, and that is the NCAA wants this to happen. They want Congress to come in and just say, fix it.
You got a guy, and Captain Kirk says it right here, or maybe somebody else beat him to it even. But I see this is the one that I see on the comment section. You got a guy here who cannot play in the NFL. Otherwise, he would have been there. He would have gone, and he'd have been drafted, and he'd be. But he's good enough to be a multimillionaire at the college football level. And an institution can bring him in, pay him $2 million. Their football team will win games, and then they'll make money because of that. So the NCAA, we got to figure out how to tie this thing back to school. And even with that, there's got to be other restrictions and rules and stuff. Travis, when you lay that out, 2019, he's a JUCO redshirt. 2020, COVID. So then he plays JUCO for 2 years in 21 and 22. Starts playing FBS football in 23. That's 3 years ago.
At Appalachian State. Started at the City College of San Francisco, redshirted. They did not play in 2020. Went to Diablo Valley in 2021.
Diablo Valley. I like it.
He was a starting quarterback in 21, started in 22, then got injured. Then went to Appalachian State, played in 2023 and 2024, and played in Tennessee in 2025. Just get rid of the...
I don't even know anymore.
Well, and we have NBA players playing in college basketball now.
Guys going from pro leagues back to college.
Because there's more money to be made. And then you have Justin, who makes $84 a week.
Hopefully 50,000 with stealing those jerseys.
Justin, have you ever seen the movie Falling Down with Michael Douglas?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's funny because I will tell you, because you and I are the exact same guy. The older you get, the closer you, not only the more you appreciate that movie and the more you understand it, the more you look around and you go, why am I doing things the right way? What? Everybody's...
I just want the cheeseburger.
I just want the cheeseburger. That's all I want. Yeah, right.
Was it a cheeseburger or was it he wanted breakfast? And we stopped serving breakfast at 11:30. It's 11:31. I just want the breakfast.
More and more.
That's a good one.
You appreciate that of like I'm. This tax season is going to be an interesting one. You have a lot of people that go to write that check and turn on the news and go, "What the fuck am I doing? Why am I going broke trying to fund this bullshit?" So anyway, hi Justin. How's your Tuesday? How you feeling?
So this is the weirdest thing. Like, I never felt sick. I just completely didn't have a voice. I sounded like RFK.
It got deeper. It's actually like so you went through puberty. You might be able to start shaving shortly. You know, Justin shaves is going to be
happened.
Yeah,
I'm a real boy now.
Growing facial hair.
He said I sounded like
there's like two hairs. But yeah, definitely sounded like RFK, Ross.
That's funny. I like that a lot. That's good.
No, it was weird. Because like usually when you lose your voice, like you're sick or you were screaming at a concert. Did none of those things. Woke up Sunday totally fine, just couldn't talk.
How many Seattle Seahawks jerseys do you think you could grab and run with?
Enough. Enough. I thought it would have been funny to come on because I have 2 jerseys. I have a retro Largent one, and then I have the home Russell Wilson one.
I like the Largent. That's good. Did you hear, by the way, Kluve's story about hanging out with Russell Wilson and Sierra?
Yeah.
Isn't that great?
Jealous.
Isn't that cool? Yeah.
Jealous. For multiple reasons. Like, Sierra? Hell yeah. But then Russell Wilson? Hell yeah. Like, that'd be awesome.
Banana bread at work, dude?
Hell yeah. But I thought it would have been funny to wear this retro helmet that I have, grab a foam finger, have the 2 jerseys on, and be like, guys, we're trying to find who did this.
Yeah, okay, right, exactly. Everybody's trying to find out who stole all these jerseys, guys. Okay, before we move on to tonight, Johnny has a question. How do you feel about the Seahawks covering the 4.5?
Man, I just don't like how everyone's so confident in Seattle. Everyone is picking the Seahawks, like, beyond a doubt. They're like, yeah, Seattle's winning this.
It's never good.
No. And like Drake May being able to utilize his legs.
He's injured.
Okay. Like, he's not going to play in the Super Bowl. I'll believe it when I see it.
Oh,
no, I do like Seattle a lot. That defense is really good. And in the sense that you guys were talking about, it was good for Iowa State to lose those 2 games and now look at how they're like right back, refocused. I think it was good for that defense to kind of get beat up against the Rams, where you're like, oh, okay, they're not unstoppable right before the biggest game of the year. So I like
even
Seattle.
Norm took Seattle. So Norm the Cat took Seattle.
Everyone
he knows football.
is. I don't like it.
Norm knows football.
He does.
Norm knows football. What is your expectation tonight for your Drake Bulldogs as they go on the road? Tough matchup, and Travis said 9 points is the spread on that. What's your expectation or hope?
I hope they come out with a pissed off revenge attitude, because remember, this is the team they blew the 25-point lead against at home too.
I did forget about that.
And then also, this is the best 3-point shooting team in the Valley, the best offensive team in the Valley. And Drake has been awful at guarding the perimeter. It's been bad. That guy for Bradley on Sunday started off 9 of 9 from deep. It was unreal. The one he missed, he was wide open. There was no one around him. So it's just been really difficult for this team to guard the perimeter. And Belmont is on fire right now. They may not be the best defensive team, but they don't care if you put up 95, because they're going to put up 100.
Yeah. Did you follow this story at all? I mentioned it earlier, and I kind of sped through the details quickly because there's a lot of minutia in this Seahawks are for sale story.
Yeah.
Very interesting stuff that I was kind of unaware of some of the details within it. That being a trustee of an estate is not enough to be, or executor of an estate or trustee of a trust account is not enough to be considered an individual owner, and every team has to be at least 30% owned by one singular individual in the NFL. I didn't know that.
I could have sworn, like, all throughout this regular season, they've talked about this team getting sold. Like,
really?
That's why I'm so confused that they're coming out being like, no, we're not selling. Because I'm like, I feel like I've read articles on Seahawks.com about this.
Really? Interesting. Okay.
And it was fun during the NFC Championship at like halftime. My dad and I were on Wikipedia going through, like, how much did the team sell for in 1980? All right, how much did it sell for? Like you guys just were. It is crazy to see how much it all is going up for.
Well,
I sent you guys a
GoFundMe that helped Justin Miller purchase the Seattle Seahawks.
Who's the listener that sends $50 every time he wins a bet?
Nick,
all right, Nick.
Nick, we're hoping
start winning
really
some bets, man. We can make this a 4-man operation. Let's all buy the Seahawks.
Nick, if you just hit like a 43-team parlay, you're going to have enough to buy the Seahawks.
Let's do it. You know what, Nick?
Would you ever want to own a sports franchise? Honest to God. I mean, because Look at the Des Moines Buccaneers. Look at I mean, would you ever want to own a sports franchise? To me, it would have to be a hobby. I think a lot of these guys, sure, there's big money involved, but it's not where they made their money. Even at $10 billion, you're running as a business venture, but it's not your main source of income.
I don't know. I'm pretty good at it on Madden. So I think Seattle wouldn't just be a one-win Super Bowl team. We'd be the Patriots times 2.
Good Madden reference. I like it.
I think an individual owner at 30%, if it sold for $10 billion, you're talking you need $3 billion just to be the 30% owner.
We're in a completely we have all the wrong conversations, I think, Trav, because the owners very few times. Hey, bud, go get them. Love you. Work hard, have fun. The only thing, the very few owners actually want to win. Every owner wants to make money. The thing that we're missing here is this: you went from a $200 million investment to a $10 billion return. That win schmin, dude. We're the idiots who want to win,
because it's not like these franchises are going to drop in value over time. All right, Justin, we're glad your voice is back. Did we have any errors today?
Did you say Appalachian or is it Appalachian or Appalachian State?
I think it's Appalachian.
You say it, Justin. How do you say it?
I say Appalachian.
Really?
Yeah, but I'm not the smartest. So.
But you're a hick.
That's a tomato creek thing right there.
Missouri thing.
Yeah, Missouri. Washington.
We're back tomorrow at 6 a.m. Thanks for listening. Have a good day, everybody. It's the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
When you work with a company like Mr. Electric that goes above and beyond and makes the customer their priority, that is just a real joy to encounter these days. It was a fairly complicated project and it was intimidating. They made it look so easy, and they were very professional, very clean folks. They thoroughly explain what they're going to do. It's clear that they're experienced and that they know what they're doing. Having professionals out there that can do that for me, that gives me a lot of peace of mind.
Start spreading the news, 'cause it's time to buy booze, and there's only one place to be. You can see all your friends, the good times never end unless you're just loitering. It's Central City, we can make your dreams come true. No guarantee your dreams will come true. Central City, all this booze is waiting for you. Look at all this booze.
Hi, Noel from Fiscus Jewelers. Thinking about popping the question? Take their breath away with a diamond you can trust. Rare and forever natural diamonds. Thoughtfully selected and pre-screened using advanced technology. If you don't see exactly what you're looking for, we'll custom design it together. Our experienced team is here to help you create something truly meaningful. And let's not forget about the guys. We proudly offer the largest selection of men's wedding bands around. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
New year, new lease on life, or on a new Nissan Kicks. Right now, we have a $299 per month lease on our 2026 Kicks SB. Also, take advantage of 0% financing on our 2026 Rogues and Muranos and our remaining 2025 Pathfinders. And we are thrilled to have the all-new 2026 Nissan Sentra on our lot. This sporty compact sedan is ready to carry you through the new year in style. For more information, stop into our showroom or visit us online at willisnissan.com.
Iowa Wolves basketball. Fast, loud, right on top of the action. Every play hits harder when you're in the building. Now it can hit even bigger. Win cash in a VIP Timberwolves trip from the Iowa Lottery. Play Cash Frenzy for your chance to win instantly. Didn't win? Enter non-winning tickets into the VIP club for a shot at courtside seats with the Iowa Wolves or a Timberwolves getaway.
Game on, keep your edge with Body Armor Sports Drink. Bold flavors, electrolytes, and hydration that goes the distance. Grab Body Armor before the grind, during the game, and after the win. Body Armor Sports Drink. Hydration that's real and better for you. Pick up Body Armor Sports Drink on your next grocery store run or convenience store trip.
Missing a quality home-cooked meal? You know,
the kind Mom used to make? Lucky for you, we found her recipe book. Welcome to the High Life. Welcome to the champagne of bars.
The following advertisement is for people who like to save money.
Do you or a loved one suffer from chronic overspending, getting less but paying more? Then you may have a case of big HVAC. Now is the time to try Priority One. We set our own prices, which means you pay for what you need, not for anything else. And if you need a heating service or new furnace, now is the time to try Priority One.
Side effects of Priority One include increased happiness, extra peace of mind, and bonus cash for whatever you want. Please use responsibly.
Back to the rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.